the daughter of Mabushe, the Shen Mamai of Lawidaye, the Madame of Grand Bay. A child who could not say her own name. A child whose words were sealed in her fingertips. A child who rose up from the sea, salt in her lungs, sun on her skin. A child who left that place, that cradled her, that bore the medicines that healed, and cloaked her people in full moon rituals. She landed on frozen ground, covered in mysteries, colored in a colorless landscape.
A child who landed on frozen ground, covered in mysteries,
Our home
in a colorless
and
landscape.
native land, true patriot love
Canada,
in all our sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free, from far and wide. Oh, oh, Canada,
whose words were sealed in her fingertips. A child
no sea breeze to guide her along, no salt in the air
lungs
to aid in her song.
on her skin.
And oh,
A child who left
that sun, that trickster,
cradled her
playing games in the sky, hanging high, hanging bright, offering no warmth, no fire.
a child who landed
All
on
around
frozen
her,
ground,
a frozen pool of
covered in
faces that
mysteries,
don't speak, of languages lost, of
colorless
tongues
landscape.
caged.
Oh,
What's your name?
Canada.
Her language lost, her tongue caged, her face became like theirs. What's your name? Her stomach fought,
She would stare out
her
at that
tongue
frozen
lashed, her teeth gnashed,
to that trickster sun,
her breath
asking for the return of her language
snuffed.
and the release of her tongue. But oh, that sun, that trickster, playing games in the sky, hanging high,
Words were sealed
hanging bright,
in her fingertips.
but offering no warmth.
A child who rose up from the sea, salt in her lungs, a child who left that place,
send her face to that trickster's son, pleading for the return of her language, pleading for the release of her tongue. But, oh, that son, that trickster, playing games in the sky, hanging high, hanging bright, offered no warmth, no fire.
There's a brown girl in the brown girl in the ring.
When they tire from waiting for her words to land, they moved to her hair that refused to fall. And sometimes they followed the trail of the Kango and wrapped her strands around their eyes. They pointed loud, their faces a mixture of their voices ringing loud and clear. There's a brown girl in the ring, fa la 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 la. There's a brown girl in the ring, fa la 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 la. Brown girl in the ring, fa la 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 la. And she looks like Medusa in her crown. Show us your snakes, girl. Fa la 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 la. Show us your snakes, girl. Fa la 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 la. Show us your snakes, girl. Fa la 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 la. 'Cause you look like Medusa in your crown. Her tongue caged, her language lost, her face wouldn't speak, and that frozen landscape rose between them. What's your name?
All of the madams of the next life.
She pressed her lips, rounded the roof of her mouth, curled her tongue, drew it back, and then pressed breath past teeth and lips. Instead, her words drew back, her tongue caged, her language lost, and her face refused to speak. And she landed back on that frozen landscape.
Get them out. My Bessie whispered.
Her eyes rose again to that trickster son.
And she responded.
Her head swung,
Quack.
her jaws parted, and breath
My Bessie whispered.
climbed in.
Utu mwe
Breath.
kavini.
climbed in.
Ma Bessie shouted, "Quick!"
And that is when
And she
they
responded,
arrived.
"Quack!"
Ma
Bessie
Bessie,
shouted, "Gare
Ma
mwen,
Lise Rose,
mwen kabini."
Pawpaw, Dada Christine, Ma Graham,
Pot,
Ma Keelan,
she shouted,
Ma Koofy, Ma Fountain. All the madams
"It's a
from the
family.
next life
That is
who
it,
bore her
child.
and her mothers.
That is all it is, the door.
She asked to know
Door
the
is
way
looking at
of
you.
the frozen landscape.
You must
She
come
asked
to
for
the door.
guidance to the sea of
The door is
words.
waiting.
She asked for the release of her caged tongue.
It is you.
My Bessie, she cried, my words, they leave before I can get them out.
Send her
My
feet
Bessie
to the
planted her feet, rubbed her stomach, bound her waist, and held breath
breath in your palm
in her hands.
and look to the moon.
My Bessie, she cried, my words, they leave before I can get them out.
To the ground.
My Bessie planted her feet, rubbed her stomach, bound her waist, and held breath
She held breath
in her palms.
and she looked.
My Bessie, she cried, my words, they leave before I can get them out.
Words fell like rain falling from dashing leaves.
My Bessie whispered, quick. And she
I
responded,
am the daughter of Mabu.
quack. My Bessie shouted, quick. And she responded, quack. Ma Bessie shouted, gardez-moi, ou tu moi kavini. And she responded, the door, la porte, the door, the door. Oui, ça fa moi. Oui, that is it, the door. The door, that is all. The door is waiting for you. It is you. It is you that must go through. It is you. Send your feet to the ground. Round your belly. Bind your waist. Hold breath in your palms. Look to the moon. She sent her feet to the ground, rounded her belly, bound her waist, held breath in her palms. And she looked to moon. The sea of words fell from her mouth like rain falling from dashing leaves. I am the daughter of Mabouche, the Jeanne Mamai of Laouideye, the Madame of Grand Bay, Ish of Michel, Michaud, Henry, Zafin of Imelda, Petrolina, Bruni. I am Myrtle, Henry, Sodi. I am a child who can say her own name.